Boo, it's Nicole. Today I'm going to show you how to do this toned down trad goth makeup look that just makes you look dead AF. I really wanted to show you guys how to do this makeup look because I personally don't like to use a lot of eyeliner because I have very hooded eyes. And most trad goth looks use a lot of dramatic eyeliner. Those sort of looks may not work for everyone, or you might not be able to do such a dramatic look for, say, a business setting. So this might be a different option for you to wear day to day. I've obviously sped up this video so it's not super long, and I've also already used moisturizer and sunblock and all of that good stuff. What I'm using on my eyes right now is actually blush. This blush is from Too Faced, but you can use any blush that you would like. I'm using this pink because I want my eyes to look kind of irritated, or like I've had allergies, or I'm just kind of sick or something like that. And the reason that I'm using blush instead of a regular pink eyeshadow is because eyeshadow can become really intense really quickly. And although I want the pink to be visible, I don't want it to be over the top or very intense or pigmented. I just want it to look kind of natural, like my eyes are just a little bit irritated, like I've been itching them. And since blush is for making you look a little bit rosy, this is perfect to use for this purpose. I'm using a really fluffy brush to apply this. Make sure that your edges are really blended out and feathered. So now I'm coming in with a matte purple. This one is from Sephora, but you can use any purple that just has a more bluish tint to it. It needs to have a bluish tint so that it kind of looks a little bit like a bruise when you apply it. Basically, this is just going to make you look like you either have a black eye or just you're very tired or very dark bags under your eyes. Dead, basically. You want to look dead. You want to apply quite a lot to the bottom eyelids. And then now I'm just coming in with a fluffy brush to make it look more blended and feathered out. Right here I'm using the fluffy brush to add more purple to the bottom eyelid just to accentuate that even more. This is a red lip liner, but I'm using it as an eyeliner to tightline my waterline. This is going to make it look like your eyes are very irritated or itchy. And now I'm coming in with some black. This is from Sugar Pill. I'm using this just on the corners of my eyes to give it a little bit more depth. So now I'm curling my eyelashes to add the first coat of mascara. My eyelashes are pretty short and thin, so I use a lot of mascara. The mascara is Black Magic by Nicole. Here I'm just real fast touching up the pink around my eyes. As I let the first coat of mascara dry a little bit, I'm doing my eyebrows. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, but do your eyebrows however you want to do your eyebrows. Because personally I don't really do very much with my eyebrows, I just really fill in the gaps with this thing. Now I'm doing the second coat of mascara on the top eyelashes, and I'm going to do the first coat of mascara on the bottom eyelashes. And again, do your mascara however you want to do your mascara. You actually don't even have to wear mascara with this look. I've even done it sometimes where I just put on the eyeshadow and went about my day. This is the first coat of setting spray. This is MAC Prep and Prime. I'm about to do my foundation, and again, do your foundation how you want to do your foundation. Personally, I have really bad skin. I have huge pores, so I actually use two or three, sometimes 4 different types of primers. I don't really have a holy grail primer. I just use 2 different types at minimum, and I will often just switch them up just based on what I have. This one is called No Problem Primer, and I'm using this one first because I always use a serum type of primer first. And this one is from Pony Effects. I'm using this one because it's more of a putty type primer. So this one fills in the pores a little bit instead of sitting on top like the serum type. And as you saw, I use the serum type of primer all over my face. That'll help the foundation spread a little bit better. The putty type of primer I'm using only where my pores are the biggest. And now I'm using a lip plumper just to sit for a minute before I apply my lip color. This one is from Too Faced, and I know I use a lot of Too Faced products, but I promise you I'm not like obsessed with them or anything. It just happens to be what I had. Here's the second coat of mascara on the bottom eyelashes. And then I'm going to come in with the third coat of mascara on the top eyelashes. I'm just using Maybelline for the last coat of mascara. My eyes tend to be pretty watery, so I'm very picky about mascaras because most waterproof mascaras are not actually waterproof. Maybelline and Icon are the only ones that I found that are actually waterproof. Also, I want to say something about how I'm applying this mascara. I believe the technique is called minking. Basically, it's a technique where you apply 2 different types of mascara to the root and to the tips of your eyelashes, and it makes it look more long. Very often people do this with different colors of mascara, so they'll use a brown at the root and a black at the tip, and that'll make it look more full at the root and more long at the tips. I heard once as a rule of thumb that brown mascara is meant for thickening and black mascara is meant for lengthening. So this is my third primer I'm putting on. This one is another type of putty type of primer, and this one is from Tony Moly. I forget the name exactly, but it has something to do with an egg. And I'm applying this again only to where my pores are the biggest. And I'm really squishing this one into my pores, by the way. Did another layer of setting spray, and I'm also listening to music, so that's why I'm dancing. And then I'm applying my final coat of mascara to my bottom eyelashes. Again, this is Maybelline, this one is the Stiletto, and I like to use this one on my bottom lashes because it has a really thin brush, or spoolie, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm finally applying my foundation. This is from Makeup Forever. I have a lot of problem with foundation because a lot of foundations want to sink into my pores even though I'm wearing so many primers, and it'll often make my foundation look really cakey. Makeup Forever is the only foundation that I've found that doesn't make my skin look cakey. So I'm just real quick applying it all over, and then I'm going to come in with a foundation brush to blend it all out. Now I'm coming in with a wet beauty blender. For some reason I can't figure out the words to say here. Like, the purpose of this is to make it look more natural. I just can't describe why it looks that way. I don't know. Also, I don't know why I never said this before, but the reason I do my eyes before my foundation is because I get a lot of fallout from my eyes usually. Also, it kind of helps when I do multiple coats of stuff because I let it sit for a second and then do something else, so there's that. And then I'm coming in with another coat of setting spray. Now I'm wiping the lip plumper off my lips so that I can start on my color. This is a lip stain from Holy Holy. It might also be called Holy Pop, I'm actually not even sure. And now I'm using this tissue to feather out the edges of the lip stain a little bit because I'm going to do a gradient lip and to tone down the color just a little bit. And now I'm using a setting powder by Too Faced to bake my face. This powder puff is from Beauty Blender. And now I'm using this bronzer from Too Faced to contour my face. I don't know why this side of my contour came out so badly, but I don't really care that much about the contour because my hair usually covers the majority of it anyways. I'm using an angled fluffy brush to do the main parts of my contour, and then I'm coming in with a more precise contour brush to do some of the smaller areas. This lip whip is from Beauty Bakery. I believe the color is Raspberry Tiramisu. And I'm using this on just the very inside of my lips. And then I'm smudging it out a little bit by pressing my lips together. The reason I'm doing this is because the dark red kind of makes it look like I just drank some blood or something. This black color is called Midnight Truffle by Beauty Bakery. This I'm using just barely on the inside of my lips. Old blood will look black, so this is just to accentuate it basically. So now I'm using this fluffy brush to brush off the excess powder, and then I'm using it to set the rest of my foundation. I'm coming in with a pink lip liner to line just the middle part of my lips. If you line just the middle part of your lips, it's going to make your lips look just a little more plump. And then I'm doing my last coat of setting spray. So I've been asked how to do this particular hairstyle a couple times now. I had washed my hair the night before, and these are the products that I used in my hair while it was still wet. So first I used this Boldify hair thickener and this root booster by Big Wig. I use these products because they're not very damaging for your hair, and I believe that the Boldify one is supposed to be good for your hair. You also don't have to blow dry your hair after using these products, but I did. This is the brush that I use for both teasing and combing my hair. It's a boar bristle brush with plastic pins, and it has a wooden handle. These are some of the products that I use to get volume in my hair. The one is Big Sexy Hair Play Powder, and the other is Got To Be Glued Hairspray. I've tried other hairsprays, more expensive ones and stuff, but this is the only one that has a really good hold. Here I'm just showing you my haircut. You can see that I have a whole lot of layers, and it is also shorter on one side than it is on the other. So obviously your hair is not going to look exactly like this if you try it at home. So basically I'm going to pull out some face framing pieces and take a rather large piece of the side of my hair and brush it straight up. So now I'm going to take this comb and I'm going to stick the hair right at the top of my head. Now I'm sprinkling the play powder into sections of my hair. Sorry that my arm was covering half of this procedure, by the way. Once you sprinkle it in, you just shake up the powder into your hair. The play powder is made of silicates, but it's actually good for your hair. There's another thing that I use by Living Proof called Amp 2 that's kind of like a putty. I didn't use it this time, but that's another thing that I use. Now I'm coming in and actually teasing my hair. A lot of people tell me that they don't really know how to tease their hair right, or it just doesn't work for them. I don't really know how it doesn't if you know how to tease hair, personally. But I just grab a section of my hair and then start back combing until it gets to the end. I do a kind of half circle movement when I back comb sometimes though, but I do think that the brush is the main thing that'll help you. After I get a few pieces back combed, I come in with a hairspray and then just kind of touch it up from there. So now I'm putting in the headpiece that I was going to wear that day. This one has ribbons, so basically just putting the ribbons over and under a bunch of different pieces of the hair, so that way it doesn't mess up the shape that I have. And then after getting it in, I just touch it up one more time. And then I spray my fringe for good measure. Here I was going to cover up my eyes, but sometimes when my eyes are watering a whole lot, I will use hairspray as setting spray, so that's what I just decided at the end of this. And here's the trad goth Lolita look that I did with this hair and makeup. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you all enjoyed and learned something from this. We come out with a new video every week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. And all of our platforms are different, so if you're into J fashion, just follow us on all of our social media accounts. Thank you!